What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, what is this?
This is a 1966 427 Corvette that he spun a rod bearing. So we're pulling the motor out, gonna get it out to the machine shop, get it rebuilt, and then get it back in.
Awesome.
Easy.
So how far along are you?
About halfway.
So you're literally just disassembling the whole motor?
In here just to make it easier to get out.
Sweet.
It'll go back together as a whole, but this is just a little more manageable like this. And it sort of gives us an opportunity to go through all the parts and pieces as we get it out of here. So you could do it as a whole, but this is easier and safer.
So is the transmission also getting rebuilt too, or no?
No, this car is actually really good. It's just bad luck. They just let go sometimes and that's it. So considering it's how old, 60 years old,
Yeah.
he's got pretty good life out of it. So it's gonna happen eventually.
And like how many kilometers or miles does this motor have on it?
I think 50,000 miles. But being a Corvette, the first 20 were probably really hard ones. And as these things get older, they get, progressively more babied. But we know how Corvette, and Camaro, and Mustang guys are in the early days. So the bulk of its beatings were probably in the first 10 years, and now it's treated like a princess, but it's just old. Just put an LS in it.
That's exactly what I told Steve.
I'm like, no, not in this particular one. Got me hooks off it.
We're gonna get a whole bunch of like old school guys just
Like, no.
losing their shit.
The oil filter.
I know. Oh, but minus that, like the car's all original, everything.
Yeah, it's actually
Wow.
a survivor car. Original paint, original everything.
That's awesome.
So what it was supposed to be coming here for was just a few little things to make it even more correct, because he's trying to get like a survivor sort of status to the Corvette Club. But in the intern, he developed a rod knock, and then we got into it, and it's obviously going to be here a little bit longer than what was intended. So, but parts are plentiful for these, so it won't be that big of a deal. It's just downtime. Luckily for him, he has other toys to play with, but
Nice.
it seems no matter what we're working on, it always seems to be their favorite toy. It's always,
Can I have it back for the weekend?
I
gonna
know
be a
I have
little bit
Porsche
longer.
GT3 RS, but I like this one better.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know. He doesn't have a 3 RS. I think he does have a GT3 though.
I mean, tomato.
For me, I know what I'd rather be driving.
Yeah,
It
work
would
van.
be the opposite.
Yeah, work van. Exactly. It's literally
I
outside
don't gotta
right
slow
there.
down for speed bumps.
You don't want to mess around with these Corvette guys?
These Corvette
Always-
guys are next level.
They have a
You
guy
can
that comes
usually-
out just to
You
inspect your
can
car
usually
for you.
tell by their New Balances just how serious they take life. Like they don't mess around.
They're New Balances. If they have 2 pleats on their shorts, they mean business.
They take their footwear and their cars very seriously. I've almost not bought a Corvette like 10 times.
Almost not bought a Corvette. Okay.
Every time I drive one, I'm like, that's why I don't own a Corvette.
Ah. So you just don't like them?
No,
Huh.
not even a little bit.
Even the C8 too?
The C8. Well, I haven't driven like any of the higher trim model ones.
Well, the base model?
The base model, is probably almost my least favorite Corvette. The styling is amazing.
Yeah.
The interior is by far their best. But
So what's the problem? Like, what's
the
the
motor,
the what?
sounds like a V8.
The motor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like when they do the flat plane one, I'm sure it'll
The Z06?
sound the way it looks.
yeah.
But to have something that looks like that just sounds like a Camaro, it just can't get behind it.
Interesting.
That one was heavily out of adjustment.
Yep.
Yeah. Easy.
I got all the starter wires off. I got the fuel line off, fuel pumps off. Water pump. I got the motor mount bolt right out. You got yours out too, or?
You think I have
Have
$250,000 worth of tools. Think I have a spark plug socket?
No.
I'm still surprised that these things don't come with the tools in them.
Oh, it probably does.
Like, no, like this one.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it didn't come with the you would expect.
You know
After
what
paying.
this toolbox cost? Take
Yeah, I
guess.
heard. Like $250? No?
No, the box was about 68,000.
Well, the rest of the tools though.
Oh, with the tools.
Yeah.
600, 600, 600, 600.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you would think for what Snap-on sells this thing for, you would think they're like, oh, we're just gonna give you all the tools you need.
Yeah, right. Why? When they got idiots like us, they'll just pay for all this.
I bought a Snap-on rolling cart there, and it wasn't even a real Snap-on one from Nick. And I can't even consider having kids now.
Wait, so in all these tools, you don't have a spark plug socket?
Is it videotaping?
You have all the tools,
What are you trying to do right now, Elvis?
but no spark plug socket. Like,
There's some shade all of a sudden on this side of the car.
I have
work in
plenty
the
of
shade.
sockets that fit spark plugs.
I can't work over here in the
In
shade.
this particular spot, I need actual spark plug socket. Because it has the hex on the outside, so I can put a wrench on it.
oh,
So don't even try
Tool shaming.
yeah.
to shame me.
Wow, that's a big starter.
Oh yeah.
One of these bolts before, when I went to put the windage tray back in, was broken. So I probably just loosened off and then spun the bearing out of it.
Yep.
But he was drinking beers with his friends.
Yep.
They
All good.
decided to show them how awesome it sounded.
They were really impressed with the rattle.
Then it went, "Wah!" And he
Did he
went-
start like do it when it was cold?
Yeah, he fired it up,
Oh.
grabbed the piss out of it.
Fire, rub the piss on it, please.
Perfect idea.
Now we're rebuilding the engine.
It's
So
like the guys that fire up their turbo cars and rev it right up.
yeah, I do that shit all the time. I had to take this car for a drive.
Yeah.
Well, the ground wire had come off the starter, so the thing was not charging, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get back, so I cracked the hood, and it was showing 0 on the gauge, and then I saw that the wire was undone and the nut was missing, so I broke that tang out, put the wire on, and wedged this fork, and I got home.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing.
It works.
Oh. That's awesome.
I don't even want to say it out loud, but I've never had to call a tow truck.
Wow.
Oh, you did it.
You sent it out into the universe.
Said it
I
now,
know.
man.
I usually always get home.
I'm
Wow.
not even gonna ride with you.
That's so funny.
Calgary, I did a starter in the parking lot. In the Ford. It sucked. That was a YouTube moment. Because I didn't have tools with me, so I needed to know what tools I needed. So I went on a YouTube video. Because a lot of times, like, these are the tools you're gonna need. So I found that guy. And he's like, okay, this is what you're gonna need. I was like, awesome. Jumped in a cab, had to go across town, spent $400 on tools, got the part, got back, started to try to do it, couldn't do it.
Oh no.
I was like, what is going on? So then I go back to the video, I'm like, I must have missed something. And then literally like a minute and a half after where I stopped watching the video, he's like, okay, well I did this and this, that didn't work. So this
Oh
is what
my god.
this is what I had to do. So he's like, you're gonna want to position your body like this, and put your feet over here, and then if you look up to your right, you're gonna be able to see the bolt.
Oh.
And I did, and I was like, oh, there it is.
If
Luckily,
only
I
I'd
didn't-
watched the whole thing.
Yeah, if I'd have watched the whole thing, I'd have saved probably $250.
Oh no.
I still have all those tools in my truck.
You didn't just go return them?
No, because like by that point, I was ready to go home. This is the morning after, like the morning we're supposed to be heading home. I got it fixed, and now I have a complete set of tools in my truck.
Wow.
But this is like my 6th set of tools. Because every time something like this happens, I go buy a set of tools, like some 50 piece or something.
Yeah.
And then I come back, and every single time, Brett, like, oh my God, this thing's dirty. You gotta let me detail it. So I let him detail it, and he always takes the toolkit out. So every time I need one,
It's always a
it's
nut in the
gone.
car. Finally.
That'll make our life a lot easier.
Oh, nice.
It went off too easy. Come over there, we'll grab it. Okay.
Two different head gaskets. That's some janky shit.
Wow. Looks like a model.
Look at him, he's like winding his hair.
Yep.
He needs like something in his hand, like a drink. He could be like a sponsor or spokesperson.
The next day,
All right, so we got the motor out of our Corvette. This is actually a 66 427 big block car, numbers matching. So we got the motor out, we got it apart, and found out that it spun a rod bearing. So, and in the interim, I've also found out that it wiped out the crank. So we have it out at the machine shop. We've sourced a new crank for it. We're just waiting on some connecting rod bolts, and hopefully they'll get that back together soon, and then we can get it back in the car. So if you want to see that episode, like, subscribe, and watch it.